You must tremble before Mineral Master Baufi, the rock giant. He elevates realms with mountains, where his resourceful dwarfkin of Safeguard thrive. Baufi and his resourceful dwarfkin are the protagonists in our story. Stout, hardy, and stubborn beings who were used to living in the most rugged regions of the world. They have trained to cover any gaps in their defensive formations. They are tough and used to taking a few hits in battle. They can thrive underground as well as anyone else could above ground. They have respect for smiths and other artisans, preferring a strong wall over a decorated palace. Beneath the earth, they can be found, prospering and digging deeper still. Their society is attuned to the astral flows, enabling them to channel arcane powers. This is where our story begins with the build of the Dwarfkin. I've taken tough for +1 defense and resistance against all melee attacks. I've taken defensive tactics +1 defense and resistance and +10% evasion when standing next to a friendly unit with defensive tactics, so any other dwarf. And finally, underground adaptation to make us the best underground explorers who ever lived. We are an industrious society, master builders who value grand cities and strong armor. We took it for scout prospecting, so when we're on the ground, we can scout for little goodies like the good dwarf boys we are, and or ladies. We are mana channelers. Summoning spells cost 50% mana to cast, and magic origin units gain additional 20% experience. And finally, subterraneous society gives underground passage +2 Imperium, which is absolutely crucial, as well as underground cities gaining 20% more food income. We start with the Tome of Warding for magical wards for some extra resistances for free, as it is a minor race transformation. Static shield, so people that attack us can get stunned. Mark on vulnerability if we pick it up for the extra stall. And finally, and most importantly, we want the Staff of Warding for extra resistance, because that is the big downfall with most builds. We need extra resistance to get through and defend against the magic attacks that happen to dominate the late game. We take the rock giant, Baufi, the mineral master, for some thematic points, and we change his ambition to explorer, because we're looking for other ruins that can give us recruitability of more types of giants. So you'll see later on, we're going to be giant stomping across the map. We start with one spell in particular, the Bolster Chant, which heals us for 20 temporary hit points and gives us 2 plus bolstered defense. Now, one of the most important things to do in this game is to farm the little minions so we can level up. Leveling up both our starting units and our heroes. You can see I lose one. Sometimes I would auto battle that and go back, but we don't really care. Also, it is a 4X game, so we gotta build buildings. I start with the farm to increase our expansion early, as your main city starts with some important production already. Here we pick our first spell. We're going for those magical wards to give us even more tankiness. Then I show off the excavation ability, where we can run around and carve out this soft dirt, an ability we start with to make room and uncover more important resources around the map. On the next turn, we follow by picking up some cartography equipment, which reveals our first city around the map, Stone Tree. Now, I already have a plan. I want to expand. I want this cavern to be mine. Big Baufi, the boss. He's going to own this cavern. So I already know that I'm going to go to war. So I got to fight more, level up my ruler, get some experience, recruit some more people after I get this scout, and I'll be ready to take out my first city. We get our first research done, magical wards, and we pick up Steel Fury Chant to give us some strength and fortune, which really uber buffs our people, because we bolster our defense, we change that defense into attack, and we start one-shotting everyone on the map. It's quite a strong combo, especially early. After a couple more fights, our hero levels up. When your hero levels up, you get to pick new skills, which on the screen right here, you'll see I already have a couple picked. I can summon a sword and I can hurl a boulder like the true mineral master, Baufi, the boss of the Underdome, can do. Now, I'm going with hurl boulder because I'm primarily a backline hero that likes to debuff the enemy is the build I'm going for. And I get to summon also a shield later on to help stall even more. So I could bolster my defense. And this hero right here, the second hero I'm recruiting, is going to stay in my Lord's army was a shield unit to add even more tankiness so that when we use that Steel Fury chant, I could get 20x strength and just one tap everybody in my way. Right here we get our first quest. We accept and we move to clear some more camps, and we are officially at war with Stone Tree. On the very next turn, after ruining his conduit, we start the siege. Now, when you siege, you got to sit outside for X amount of turns. Currently, it's only 2 to start, and you get to pick some equipment to help you along the way. And we pick up staves of warding, which we won't have in time, but it should be helpful later on. After taking some of Stone Tree's friends out, we finally decide to lay siege. The final battle of Stone Tree. We then absorb it. It was an easy auto combat to get a second city, and we buff up my defending hero. We grab Master Masons for 20% less gold for construction, and we grab Adaptive Research for less 25% gold in production for research buildings. After picking up Staves of Warding, we pick a second tome. We take the Tome of Discipline for some healing abilities. I really didn't like many of them, but Inner Mastery gives us some status resistance, which keeps us from being debuffed or less likely to be debuffed. So that's what I decided to go with. Nothing else in the tome is really super impactful. We pick up a Steel Shaper and we get our first magical buff. This one is a race transformation, a minor run. And in this game, you can pick up as many minor race transformations as you want without any upkeep. Right here we take the Staves of Warding, but it requires 2 mana upkeep for each unit it affects. Right now I only have 1, so it's only wasting 2 mana a turn for the buff. After clearing some more camps, we gain some levels, we drip out our heroes, we gain Inner Mastery, and we get to pick another research. Now, I don't really like any of these research options, although on hindsight, Summon Phantasm Warrior could have been good. It didn't really further my goal. So I went with 2 rerolls to get Mantra of Purification, another healing and buffing spell. We then put it down an outpost next to an overworld passage. Now an outpost is what can be turned into a city. Only your heroes can put them down, and for Imperium, after it is up in a couple of turns, you can change it into a city. Now you start with only a 3 city gap, so this will be my 3rd city, and I won't be able to get another one until I increase that gap, which I can do also with Imperium, but it gets pretty expensive if you keep doing it. My goal for this game is 5 cities, and here you can see Inner Mastery coming through with our extra status resistance. We recruit another hero, we clear our first ruins, and then we let these mans go in exchange for some labor. As you're playing, you'll also get some events. As you can see, I'm trying to expand. I put down a quarry, and boom, your transfer gleefully hops back into your throne room. Quarries as far as I can see. Now, you don't have to really read the flavor text. You just look at the bottom part and tell you what you get. And we picked some Imperium, but then we built a builder's corridor to really bring them quarries about. We then meet the crystal dwelling with the eternal thirst for knowledge.
We grab a quest from him, and we need to go kill this reindeer. Before we can do that, we meet our first enemy, Serena Beastmaster, a wizard king of the brutal croakers. We decide, we don't really care that much. And then the Shop of Secrets comes our way. Now, the Shop of Secrets also comes with a new DLC. Oh, and we meet another leader, Veneria, who is not at war with anyone. We're just checking. She is neutral with us. The other guy doesn't like us. So maybe we grab an alliance. We then visit the secret shop of secrets. We trade 300 mana for 400 knowledge because knowledge is king in this game. That allows us to finish some research and pick a new tome. We pick the Tome of the Dungeon Depths. Then we go and finish our quests. Then we pick up the Clay Forge, which gives us access to some clay summons. Clay Arbalist is the one I care about. It is a tier 3 ranged crossbow unit. It's very important because we only have tier 1 range, and there's no other good range for this culture uh, ever. So you gotta go pick it up somewhere else. Now, a tier 3 unit is pretty solid. Doesn't take any Imperium upkeep and is pretty easy to build with a tier 3 Town Hall. Then I declare friendship with Veneria because I have two other rulers looking to hunt my nuts. And Baufi Mineral Master needs to keep his minerals attached to his body, if you know what I mean. With the Clay Forge built, we finish the Underground Vault. We shuffled our research because we got booty cheeks, and we take the Raiders of the Deep, which above ground gives us 10% damage, and below ground gives us even more defense and resistance. We see some raiders, we go take care of them. Then I spot a giant's foundry, and I'm eyeing that thing until I get strong enough to go capture it, because when I put a city next to it and annex it, it'll give me access to fire giants, and we can stomp on all of our enemies, and maybe some allies too if they get in our way. The dwarves are kind of small, sometimes it happens on accident. What can you do? Then Baufi shows his minerals to Veneria, and she wants a defensive pact, which, I mean, after I saw Baufi's minerals, I also wanted a defensive pact. I don't blame her. After checking the secret shop of secrets one last time, Baufi decides, he's a little too small to be stepping on our land. So we attack him, we slap our big old minerals right on his grill, and then we get a whole lot of boom, drum roll, boom. Nothing. We don't really care. I did it for the achievement. Stop, thief. Best achievement name ever. Crystal Face Guy gives us some more quests. More quests means more allegiance. More allegiance means, more allegiance and the opportunity to buy some pretty powerful stuff late game. We then get enough research to pick a new tome. Now, the next tome we pick is the Tome of Glades for two things: the Leaf Skin Transformation, which gives us +1 resistance for free. There it is on the front screen. And the Aspect of Roots, which gives all our shield units a free heal they can use as an action. So I don't have to use my support human to heal, and I don't have to use spells to heal. They just get an extra heal for free. It's incredibly strong for stalling and opportunity attacks. We eventually get our fourth city down, Smogan, and as we're expanding, we find, what is this? The Meridian Maze. Now, the Meridian Maze gives quarries an extra 10 production and mines an extra 10 gold. Once we get 3 provinces annexed, then we get free binding essence to create super strong artifacts and really drip out the heroes with that ice cold Gucci gang, if that's still a thing. We use Raiders of the Deep. We get a nice cool symbol on our head. Some say we are the Dwarven KKK. I disagree. We love all dwarves and giants and clay people. And that might be it. Baufi takes a high risk battle to get the Giant's Foundry, which we succeed with some major losses, but we just take it on the chin. Then we get to grab some extra goodies and we build an outpost next to it so that we can annex it and eventually turn it into our fifth and final city. We clear an infestation near Safe Ward that popped up and tried to give me crabs, if you know what I mean. Giant face guy gives internal joy for completing his internal quest. We pick up leaf skin, and then we're going to pick up Rune of Industry. Now, Rune of Industry stops us from being the KKK of dwarves. It instead makes us Dwarven XXX, as we can get it on with our cultural bonus with anyone now. They all are enchanted to accept our cultural bonus, and thus our cultural minerals. But then I gotta pick a new hero. After making some items, getting some research, we pick another tier 3 tome, the Tome of Geomancy, to turn all of us rock hard with the Geomantic Crystallization Major Race Transformation, turning everybody I own into rock hard elementals. When scouting, I find this absolute rock hard monstrosity and know immediately I should go absolutely nowhere near this thing. Then I get attacked and my visions are ruined. Everything is fixed with geomantic crystallization is finished. And then I pick up Bind Gold Ancient Wonder. Now this helps me win the game by binding Ancient Gold Wonders after I've cleared them with my Fire Giant, of course. Then giving me 50 research a turn based on that gold wonder. And then if I have X amount of them and I complete a tier 5 tome, I win the game after 15 turns. Knowing that I have two of those, I decide that's going to be my win con. Now, when looking at a battle, this is what it looks like. Now, when you go into a fight, it turns your 4x strategy game into a 4x tactics game. So you get abilities, you get to move around. The combat is complex, but here it is. If you attack, your turn is most likely over. If you move, you use one action point to go X amount of spaces, depending on if you're mounted or you're not mounted, or if you're fast or not fast unit. The faster you are, obviously, the more spaces you move. You get usually multiple abilities per unit that have something to do with the ability. So your support units usually have an attack and some support. Your archers, like the crossbowmen there, have overdraw or regular attacks. Overdraw canceling the retaliation attack. Uh, I could go on and on. It is absolutely crazy how in depth you can go. Now, just know I got big minerals. This whole game was about big minerals. I started off thinking, hey, I'm going to use some magic origin units, some clay units. No, 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 no. We're using big minerals. We can tank anything they throw at me. And my tier 1 units are fighting their tier 4 units, which is crazy if you don't know the game. Tier 1 units are usually not a match for tier 4 units. We decide I'm going to have so much defense that you're just going to tickle my tank. Okay, nothing you're going to do is really going to hurt me. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your arrow cannot pierce my flesh. That is all I'm saying. We're here to tank and get beat up for a while. They really beat me up in this fight, but eventually I win. That's primarily due to me having a bigger, better spell. It's the spell. It gives me 7 strength, 7 fortune on one of those units right there. It takes all that defense buffs, turns into strength and fortune. Fortune gives me critical strike chance. Strength gives me strength. I hit harder. So that guy that got 7 to 7 has instantly 70% critical strike chance and 70% extra attack damage, which means when he wallops you, he's gonna wallop you. You see that big ugly Goblin King? I'm gonna put my minerals right on his face after he beats me up a little bit. He's actually a way higher tier unit than me. I'm just trying to survive. But you can see even my giant poison blast starts to do a little bit damage. Now on the lower tier units, it does a lot more. On their higher tier units, it's Bon John Jovi, whatever his name is, living on a prayer. Okay, he's living on a prayer right now. I'm living on a prayer. Not him, it's me. I'm scared, I'm terrified, but I'm here with big old minerals, so I can't back down. The epic battle commences with Buy Big Minerals.
Then I unlock a new Empire skill that gives a big boost. I'm at 261 research right now, and it puts me up, bang, 317 research before turn 70. Then we explore one of our gold ancient wonders. We search for an antidote against the poisonous horned god, which gives us some buffs going into the fight. And then I'm feeling frisky, so I auto combat it. Now, the auto combat works out pretty well. We only lose one clay arbulus, we keep all the good units I wanted, and then we get to pick a buff. We get a green lance, a thunderbird mount, a, a fairy, or some goody two shoe points. Now, out of all of those, the fairy actually probably would have been pretty good, but I went for the thunderbird mount to put some drip on our boy, our day one right here. Oh, this is our day one. But hey, we dripped him out anyway. Our dripped out, not day one, we are building up to take that other golden wonder, which will unlock phoenixes for us. But before that, we gotta get rock hard. And bang! We're rock hard, but we're still green because we're leaf skin rock hard with our XXX thing above our head. I don't know what we are at this point. We're a little bit of everything. But then I pick up the Tome of Terramancy so that I can build in my cities rock giants and also get some extra attack spells and start buffing up some battle mages because I realize with this guy right here I can get some strong battle mages, and I'm almost at the end, the last part of the allegiance, so I start buying all the artifacts. Now when you have all these artifacts combined, you get absolutely an insane amount of knowledge. It's game breaking, honestly. You start to see the future. That's how much knowledge you have. So that's what I'm going for at this point in the game. Baufi's trying to put his minerals into the future. Next, we give him the aspect of the root, giving our boys the ability to heal without anyone else around. Doesn't really change the way they look. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But then we get advanced logistics, allowing us to move through the empire a lot faster. Knowing that I can move in between the two ancient wonders at light speed, just yell punch it, Chewie, and I'm there. I start taking our other group of heroes and some regular people, and we start going around beating the innocents. You might think beating the innocents is evil, and it says right there, slay them all. It's evil, or be gone, gentle giants. It's okay. We don't pick either of those. We say, hey, come work for me, Baufi, or I'll spend my minerals all on your face. I don't know if I said spit or spread, but I'm leaving that in there. Then I get Summon Rock Giant, which I can build big giant rock giants with big giant minerals. And if you're tired of me saying big giant minerals, you need to click now. But before that, hit the like and subscribe, or Baufi will put his big giant minerals on my face. Which if he does, for a like and subscribe, I might let you see that. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. On the other side of the map, I start summoning elementals. I'm getting ready to put Baufi's big giant minerals, the army of Baufi, right there on the Star Spire. I'm gonna slap Star Spire with Baufi's big giant minerals, and then it becomes my teammate because Venera decided to vassalize them so that I wouldn't have to put my summon rock giant's big giant minerals on the Starfire. Or maybe Venera wanted me to, and that's why she vassalized them, so I could just walk in. I don't know. But we grab some extra units. We go on a giant recruitment drive. We're looking for the best units possible. We summon a giant rock giant with big giant minerals. You know the drill. And we go take on our second ancient golden wonder, which seems a little bit stronger than the first one. And in fact, we lose the auto resolve, having us in this quite Scooby-Doo like predicament with the 20,000x time speed. So I hope you enjoy this rock giant with his giant rock minerals. And as you can see, that fight was absolutely ridiculously hard. But we finished it with surprisingly only a couple losses, not even more than half of our army. Obviously, this gives us a bonus, and we're going to take the Imperium because we've been starving for Imperium. Imperium is one of the best things in the game, and it's going to allow us to immediately annex that golden gate and summon our Bind Ancient Gold Wonder, giving us that knowledge and 1 out of 2 wonders for our win con. Now, usually you need your win con to come out before turn 100, especially on like the brutal AI. You really need to be ready to go. If you make it to turn 150, you get a score victory. So there you can see I get my second Ancient Gold Wonder, and then we get our Leyline Focus for our new backline Battle Mages, because elementalness damage, what did I just say? I don't know. I'm leaving that in there too. I hope you enjoy. Elemental damage is just better in this game. Physical damage just it doesn't get Baufi's minerals rock hard. So we need rock hard minerals, which is debuffs and defense and elemental damage. That's the Baufi combo. That gets Baufi's minerals going. And then we pick up our last quest for our allegiance and some resonant blades for those debuffs that Baufi's minerals likes. Now, with 2 bound ancient gold wonders, everyone declares war on me because they don't want me to win. Everyone but my ally. Now, in this game, if you make an allegiance with someone and one of you wins, you both win, which every 4X game needs that. And because of that, we get found by Crocodile Undy, and we get some mounts for our boys. Our dwarves are all mounted. The dwarfkin of XXX are all mounted on elephants, and that elephant will mount you if you talk back to them. So I would suggest don't. Never talk back to an elephant. With Baufi as he leveled up, we grabbed big forge units for big Baufi mineral forged items, so everyone can hold a part of Big Baufi's giant Big Baufi minerals. At this point, I also start researching anything and everything. Unless it was something really good that I wanted, I chose whatever took the list. Right there, 1 turn, it was done. I take focus aim, 1 turn, it's done. I'm trying to rush the tier 5 tome because I have two golden ancient wonders. Everyone's running to stop me from winning. But before I can win, I need a tier 5 tome, which boom, I've grabbed it right there. Now I have to launch the Age of Materium. Once you launch that, your 15 turn timer countdown to win the game starts. So here I'm thinking, it's pretty good. Everything's pretty good. But then I mouse over Shaper's Touch. Should be named Baufi's Touch. I have 24 elementals in my army that this would affect. 24. I make my armies beefy and unstoppable because they're all rock hard part of Baufi's Minerals. All the dwarves turned into Baufi's Minerals. But I realize that it's not the best way to go about it. So I take the smart decision. I start going for the win con. But then I finish my allegiance with the giant eternal face of allegiance. I grab the Lothorn Astrolab, meaning I have two. Then, boom, Lothorn Scroll, meaning I have three of the eternal crystalline knowledge artifacts. And then it's going to bounce some. What? Oh, I forgot about this. I let it slip. They came, they took one out from under me. They snagged one of Baufi's Big Baufi Minerals while I wasn't looking, and I lost my Ancient Gold Wonder, which means I have to start all over. I don't have to research it, but I have to recast it, put it back on there. Oh, I forgot about that. Big Baufi Minerals, that sucked. But we finished the Age of Materium, so we can't cast it because we don't have the second rune, but hey, we got it. And then we get Shaper's Touch. There's no way we pick Create Earth Shatter Engines when you have 25 elementals in our army for natural regeneration, 10 hit points for each of them, and 2 lightning resistance. Now, no one's really using lightning, so lightning resistance didn't matter. But we rebind the Ancient Gold Wonder, securing Big Baufi Minerals in the Blighted Tree. We get the Cosmic Conclave event with the secret of the cosmos laid out before me, gaining me 100% knowledge income in all cities, boosting me to 1,515 knowledge. That is absolutely ridiculous knowledge. I know it's the end of the game. Turn 100, our win con's gonna come out, but like, I've never even had 1,000. It's absolutely insane. It doesn't make any sense. But here we are. We're clearing out everybody, getting ready for the end game with our 15,069 now knowledge. Shaper's Touch finishes, meaning we're about to be some big beefy boys. And because we're going to be big beefy boys, everyone's going to want to steal Big Beefy Baufi's minerals. So we call our ally into war. Then we grab the Gold Tome. I forget what it's called. Yeah, Tome of the Golden Realm. And we grab Gold Touch for more resistance. Then we cast the Age of Materium spell. Each turn in combat, a friendly unit gains bolstered defense and bolstered resistance 2 to 4 times. Absolutely busted for our build. Then we just gotta wait. Anyone that comes near, we slap them with Big Baufi's Minerals. We use our enchantments to make everyone part of Big Baufi and not just holding part of Big Baufi. And our Big Baufi elements are there to get us around the combat field. Then with most of our enchantments done, some off-screen ones you didn't see, and our dripped out hero, we have 10 defense and 9 resistance. Just absolutely tanking anything you can throw at them. 3 full stacks of units with giants and Big Baufi elementals and giant mage casters on both of our Ancient Gold Wonders. I see there they got a group pushing. I think, oh, they're going to come up to where I am. I just slaughtered all their friends. They're going to come try to help them. Nope, they're running. I decided they don't want the smoke. They don't want Big Baufi. And then, What happened? It's the dragon guy, Serena Beastmaster. What is going on? How are they attacking me? Oh, they're underground. They went the other way to go underground through the other tunnel passage because they realized Big Baufi was over there by the Big Baufi blighted tree, and they didn't want that. Didn't help them though. They still got absolutely slaughtered by the little pieces of Big Baufi. Because remember, all the dwarves are elementals, rock hard elementals of Big Baufi. They're all Big Baufi minerals. So no matter where you go, you can't get away from Big Baufi, and I will haunt you in your dreams by saying Big Baufi because Big Baufi the boss, and he won. He won. Age of Wonders 4 completed 120 turns. It's a little slow. I almost got beat with some other win cons, but we managed to hold on. Now, I gotta recommend Age of Wonders 4 by Paradox. This is the best 4X game I've ever played. Making builds in this game is so fun. Take them into tactics mode. Just, oh my goodness. The amount of replayability this game has, even with none of the paid DLC, the free DLC that have been coming out, game only gets better and better. And I'm really excited for the end of this year's DLC, Archon Prophecy, and what that can hold. I'm hoping for some vampire stuff, so Big Baufi can have some vampire competition. But yeah, dude, we did it. You stuck around for Big Baufi's story, and for that, you can have some of Big Baufi's minerals in your face. I hope you enjoy that. Peace.